Well, hey there, and welcome to Christmas edition Heimler's History. Today we're going to be discussing how the government balances civil liberties and civil rights, focusing on school desegregation and how representation works in Congress. So we ain't got no time to waste. Get them brain cows milked, and let's get to it. So what we're going to be discussing in this video is simple. First, we're going to look at how schools tried but failed to dodge desegregation. Then we'll break down how the court stepped in. And finally, we'll see what role race played in drawing congressional districts. Nice and smooth, like butter on a hot biscuit. When talking about school segregation, immediately Brown v. Board of Education comes to mind. After declaring segregated schools unconstitutional, many districts tried to actually avoid its implementation. Their solution? Freedom of choice plans. This basically said, hey students, pick any school you want. Sounds equal, right? But in reality, almost no white students chose to attend black schools, meaning segregation basically never changed. And although their rights were technically protected, the public safety and social order the government claimed to preserve was basically just delaying real equality. To actually move towards desegregation, the Supreme Court ruled in Swan v. Charlotte-Mecklenburg that school districts could use things like busing, redistricting, and racial quotas to integrate schools. In other words, freedom of choice was not cutting it, so the court allowed active measures to balance out civil rights. This marked a huge shift in how the court interpreted equal protection. So the court went from allowing segregation to banning segregation to requiring meaningful integration tools. This is the balancing act. The government sometimes needs to intervene in ways that seem disruptive in order to protect civil rights. Alright, shifting gears to representation. After the Voting Rights Act, states began drawing majority-minority districts, districts in which a racial minority group form a majority of the voters. Why? So that these communities could elect representatives that reflect their interests. But when race becomes too much of a dominating factor in drawing these district lines, we've got ourselves a constitutional problem. In Shaw v. Reno, the court ruled that the Equal Protection Clause supports the idea that we can make crazy district lines for the sole reason of creating a racial majority.
Move. I knew you'd slip up at some point. You see, bizarrely shaped districts drawn only to create a racial majority does in fact violate the Equal Protection Clause. This means that, yes, protecting minority voting power is important, but you can't use race as the predominant factor in determining the shape. And instead, you must have other influential factors that help to draw that shape.
Silly me. Seems like I milked the wrong brain cows today. Then, in Cooper v. Harris, the court doubled down, saying that the states could no longer do it for the minority representation when the real reason was for racial packaging or partisan advantage disguised as diversity. Well, that's all you need to know about topic 3.12 of AP Government. And if you need help getting an A in your class and a 5 on your exam in May, then click right over here and subscribe to Whale GM. And baby, it's got more sauce than Texas barbecue. And if this video helped you, help me help you by dropping a like on this video. Heimler, out.
Thanks, Heimler, for another life-saving video. And now it's time for some MCQ practice. Let's get into it. A state creates a district in which 65% of the population is a racial minority. The district is compact and follows existing county lines. Civil rights groups support it as a way to increase minority representation, while challengers argue it is racially discriminatory. According to Supreme Court precedent, which is most relevant? A. Plessy v. Ferguson. B. Swan v. Charlotte-Mecklenburg. C. Shaw v. Reno. Or D. Engel v. Vitale. Please take a moment to pause the video here while you formulate your answer. Welcome back. The correct answer is C, because even when districts are neutrally shaped, the court still checks whether race was the dominant reason behind their creation. This is Mr. MCQ, and I hope to see you soon.
No!
Thank you, Heimler, for inspiring the contents of this video.
And for helping us get an A in our classes and a 5 on our exam in May.